Last time on AlphaCraft. What? What's that? You think there may be some graffiti on my new freshly mown lawn? Hello there and welcome back to AlphaCraft. We're back on the server and I'm playing a bit of catch-up again. Life has been busy and keeping me away from the video side of things, so you'll have to forgive me as I try to bring things sort of up to date, or well, at least closer to up to date. In my last video, we had just expanded the border, and so off exploring I went. And sights were seen like trees floating away to a better life somewhere else. Or even finding a trail ruined in the wild. And finding more sunken, or as the case may be, buried ships. Apparently, this ship teleported directly into the hillside. And looting more chests. And even staring down a creaking or two. And then, in an effort to actually do something at my base, villagers were bred and transported home through the nether. But through all this, there was this nasty little itch I was dealing with. No, not that kind of itch. Get your mind out of the gutter. No, the itch I'm referring to is the pranking itch. So far this season, I have been pretty much keeping to myself, but I realized with the border expansion happening, there was a rare pranking opportunity that would slip away if I didn't take advantage of it immediately. As has been mentioned in previous videos, I did a lot of fishing in the early weeks, and because of that, I found myself with quite a few name tags in my possession, and so an idea formed. Off to spawn we go! So, this season, a lot of the AlphaCrafters built temporary bases at spawn, and with the border expansion happening, they would all soon be moving out to new bases much further out. But at this moment in time, all their pets, their horses, mules, ghasts, they are all at spawn. And I think it's time to turn their lives upside down. Let's see how many we can find in a segment I like to call Counting with Gragore. There's 2. There's 3. And there's 4. And there's 5. And 6. And 7. And 8. And 9. There we go, 9. And 10. And 11. And 12. And 13. 14. That one had a name. 15. 16. 17. 18. Come on. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 20. Don't want to name him. 26. The final count was 26 dinner bones. And just because I thought it would be funny, I took a moment to go out and visit Vic's floating trading hall and dinner bone a few of his friends out there. There, that should do it. And that should probably explain why someone graffitied my lawn. I mean, for some reason that I can't figure out, a couple of the alphas think the dinner boning might have been me. What's that? What's that? The graffiti has changed? What? Well, no time for that now, because the day has finally arrived when the alphas would enter the end and take on the dreaded dragon. And so we gathered. And there was much plotting. and much planning.
I think Stina hit me.
Excuse me, I haven't even touched you today.
Stina.
And eventually, it was time for us to make the jump.
Right, are we ready? Lighting this bad boy up there, yeah? Is it
Yeah.
ready?
Light it up,
Light it up, and we better get the party started.
18 of us entered the end, and all of us wanted to get our hands on the dragon. So we decided the best method was a free-for-all. First one to kill the dragon was Generous. Tangerine. And Rabbit. Then me. And Toasty Puma. Thrillioff. Vegas Vic. Buddy Bond. Inditorius. Madragoric. Northern Ice Wolf. Funkiest of the Saturns. Murky Sparky. Spiderweb Ninja. Vit. Stina Rose. Magpie Craft. And Alpha Star. And then when we were done, we fought the dragon 2 more times, just for the funsies. With the dragon now firmly behind us, it's off to the outer lands we go. Oh, what? Well, this is fun. You had one job, Portal. With my feet back on the ground, it was time to search for an elytra. I've been playing Minecraft for years now, and there's one thing that still gives me the butterflies in this game, and that's bridging out over the void. Because of too many incidents over the years of things going very, very wrong, I'm going to strip off the armor and put it away in an ender chest until I find a city. The irony of the end is that as long as you keep your eyes pointed down to the ground, it's a pretty safe place to travel. Aside from the walking off bridges and falling forever issue, there wouldn't be any concerns at all. Now, the easy joke here would be to pretend that I spent hours and hours bridging endlessly from island to island, but the truth is, after about 15 minutes of running around, I not only found an end city, but I found one with a boat. And miracle of miracles, no one had beat me to it. Wow, feels like my luck is really starting to turn around. Foreshadowing. So, with my armor back on, I fought my way past the door guards, up through the shulker-infested tower, grabbed some loot along the way, and eventually made my way onto the boat dock. After a brief skirmish aboard the airship, the elytra was mine. And with a set of wings once more on my back, I grabbed the dragon head. Just let me grab this one sec. Now it's off to find a new city to raid. And this, my friends, is when my luck snuck up behind me and gave me a big old tap on the shoulder. I was off flying around searching for a new city and finding nothing. Endless stretches of nothing. So much so that I was eventually lulled into overconfidence. At some point in the search, I checked the world map to see how far north I had flown and forgot to pay attention to my Y level and crashed face first into the ground. Now, did I die from the impact? Oh, no. I died because on my way down, I managed to catch the eye of an Enderman while face planting into the ground. By the time I hit the escape key and realized what was going on, all I had time to do was turn to run, and I was dead. First death of the new season. Well, it had to happen sometime. Thankfully, though, due to the generosity of Generous, thank you, Generous, I was able to borrow an elytra and fly back to the end and get my stuff back before it despawned. Now, did I let this little turn of events keep me from exploring the end? Of course not! Once I returned the borrowed wings to Jin, I headed out for round 2 of end raiding. So it should be said, I actually enjoy end raiding. Not the long patches of flying around almost endlessly looking for a city, but the raiding of the actual cities. Minecraft is inherently not a combat game, but end city raiding is one of those rare instances where, depending on how you play it, can get very interesting trying to stay alive. You can play them super safe and mine through the walls to raid the chests, or you can just charge in the front door and get all the shulkers in the area to target you. Since this is the first raid, there is a lot of charge right in element to the raid, so I can grab as many shulker shells as I can before I head off to the next city. This is also one of the rare times you might want some projectile protection on your armor. You have a little of that, and the shulker bullets, yep, that's what those little floaty things are called, and they can barely hurt you. I don't have any on my armor at the moment, so I'm just going to have to keep an eye on my health and swat as many out of the sky as I can. One point worth making is that this season, we're making use of some special gemstones that can only be found in loot chests that will allow us to buy special items from the Wandering Trader. So not only do I want to collect a few elytras and shulker shells, I also want to collect gemstones and extra sets of armor and tools as well. I am a natural-born hoarder, so by the time I'm done, my ender chest will be full of shulkers filled to the brim with end loot.
2 hours later.
So, after much end raiding, and even more pack ratting, I've made it back to the home base. Despite the 2 deaths that happened, I think it was a pretty successful run. But talk is cheap. It's time to see the results of all that looting. Down here on the end, we have all that horse armor that strangely ends up in end city chests. 'Cause, you know, when you go end raiding, you always take your horse with you. Always. It's just sad to know that so many met their end in those purpley monstrosities. Next to that is all the diamond equipment I collected. I think it's safe to say I'm set for the season. Unless it's an axe or a hoe or I guess now a spear, I will have plenty of backup gear. Now granted, most of the enchants on these are garbage, but they can be ground off and new enchantments put on. But to do that, I need a lot of levels to re-enchant all that gear, which leads us to all these shulkers full of iron and cursed diamond gear. I just grind all the levels off these and I can enchant what I need from the diamond chests. Also, if I need some diamond armor to put on an armor stand, I can use any of these cursed pieces. Next to those, we find all the elytras I liberated from those little box-shaped jailers. I don't plan on having any shops this season, so not sure what I can do with these. I mean, they certainly won't end up in some sort of black market thing. No, sir, Bob, I can assure you of that. No black market goods here. And finally, on the end, are the diamonds and gemstones. Now, obviously, I didn't find all that diamond ore in the end. That was from mining tough and lighting up caves. And I already had a stack of blocks, but I think I found close to 55 blocks of diamonds in the end. And the vast majority of these gemstones were found there as well. This season, we're using these gemstones to buy super rare, hyper enchanted equipment from the Wandering Trader. Items with an efficiency 10 enchantment on them. Even with all this, I'm still not sure I can afford any of it, but maybe someday. Oh, and I already stored them away in my utility shulker, but I also collected 5 stacks of shells before I stopped fighting the shulkers and just looted the cities. All in all, it was a good raid. Oh, and before I forget, the reason this changed was because a couple of AlphaCrafters started nosing around looking for who the mad tagger was. I mean, it is a mystery, isn't it? So I gave them some new friends to keep them company. If you, like me, didn't already know this, you can dinner bone a mob by naming them Grum as well. You know, I think the investigators might be on to me. But that said, it looks like it's that time again, so I have been Gragore, and this has been AlphaCraft. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, always try and find a way to make it fun. See ya. Hello. How may I help you?